Today I'd like to go over a tricky little problem that came from a MATLAB user. They were in a situation where they had a cell array and they wanted to add another row to it. When they did this, because they were in guide setting up for a UI table, each column of that cell array needed to be the same data type, whether it was logical, double, or string. And let's take a look at the data they brought in and the attempt they made and the attempt that actually was going to work for them. So I'm going to start this by loading in some of the data. Let's go take a look at it at the command window. If we look at data, we can see that 0, empty, 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 0, null string. And so their first attempt at this was to say, let's make a new row, and let's go take a look at that. And new row is, let's see, it's a cell array also. And if we look at it, new row 1, what is that? It's empty. What is its class? That's a double. If we look at data and row 1, column 1, we can see that's logical. And so that's where their problem was coming about. So my first attempt at solving this didn't work either, because when I made the new row, I said, oh, that's just a 0. And I'd put a 0 in there, but that turned that first column entry into a double precision 0, even though I meant it to be a logical. So I could have cast this as logical 0, and that would work also. So basically what I was doing is constructing this new row and now when I ask what is the class of new row 1, I get a logical. Once we've constructed that new row, then we can use concatenate and say I want to concatenate along the first dimension. I'm going to take data and add a new row to it, just as we've defined above. And then everything worked out because we specifically called for the type for each of those entries in that new row. So what's important here is just the ability, when you're looking at a cell array, to get in there and find out what type each one of them was. You'll probably never run into this specific problem when you're trying to add to a UI table, but knowing how to find out what type things are is important in MATLAB. Thank you.